Okay, so sorry for any background noise, but since the last time I've done a video about the New England Patriots, Cam Newton was signed by the New England Patriots on a surprising deal. I mean, I didn't expect them to get him so cheap. I thought that was a pleasant surprise. I think with Cam's issue, with his issues with the injuries and his age, and how, like I've said in the past, I believe that the mobile quarterback has a very short expiration date in the league. So with him being a mobile quarterback, he's not spring chicken, even though he's 30. Which nowadays with quarterbacks playing well into their 40s, 30's pretty young. I'm sorry, but I was surprised. I was actually happy for Cam. I think with there not being too many options out there, with there not being too many viable suitors as far as teams that are built to win, I think that he landed in a great spot. With the Patriots losing Tom Brady, with them having Jared Stidham and Brian Hoyer, they didn't have too many options. So bringing in a Cam Newton who could potentially revitalize his career, maybe. I'm not even seeing that happen, but at least give you a chance to compete. At least gives you a chance to be in the running to win. And I think it's just a great situation for both teams because Cam gets a situation where he could play for a winning franchise and that has a knack for utilizing a player's ability. So, and then the New England Patriots, they get a quarterback who is above average in almost every aspect of the game, who's better than what you have currently, and you're getting them for pretty much dirt cheap. So, I think it's a perfect situation for both people. But do I think Cam will be successful here as far as playoffs, long playoff runs, potential award winner? No. I'm going to say maybe they make the playoffs. I think with the division they're in, New England can still maintain this in this division, but I'm just going to say I don't think Cam is the Cam that we're used to seeing in Carolina. And I think that, a lot of people are prisoners of the moment, which that's one of my favorite phrases because, it happens. Like with the Cleveland Browns last year, like with Lamar Jackson this year. I still think people are prisoners of the moment with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, when you start talking about a quarterback who started all of 2 seasons as potentially the greatest quarterback of all time, I think you're fooling yourself. We've seen great quarterback play. I mean, we've seen Aaron Rodgers, who looked unbelievably great his first few years in the NFL. So, I don't know. I think we're all prisoners of the moment right now. But let's hear what they gotta say.
Here with Greg Jennings. Patriots quarterback Cam Newton has been on a mission since Carolina released him back in March. A mission to prove to the world he's back and he's better than ever before. The former number 1 overall pick, the former MVP, the former starting NFL quarterback let all his frustrations with his doubters boil up in his latest Instagram video. It is self-titled Post-Workout Vent Session, and here's why.
I think people are too comfortable with hopping on social media to vent their feelings. This doesn't get me hyped. I would say any real fan of the game, this doesn't get them hyped. All it's about is going out there and putting out the best product you can. Because you can hype yourself up all you want. You can make people believe whatever you want them to believe. But if Cam Newton goes out there in the preseason, and he will play in the preseason, if Cam goes out there in the preseason and lays an egg or gets hurt, all that hype, all that bluster goes out the window.
You know what make this different is they ain't never seen this Cam.
I'm all about self-expression, man, but Cam Newton, Russell Westbrook, these dudes have some of the weirdest styles I've ever seen, and it's fine. It's fun. It's just something that I can't. Every time I watch Cam Newton on TV, I just can't get over the fact that this dude he's just so different. He's just himself, and that's what I love about Cam the most, is that he doesn't walk along the lines of what you think an NFL quarterback is supposed to walk along. You know, what the traditional quarterback has been, and he's successful. That's what also makes it better, is that he's successful. So, congratulations to him.
Seen him. You want to know how I know? I ain't never seen him. And forgotten Cam, though. That on Cam, though. Tired of being sick of tired Cam.
And I like this message, man. I do. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I don't like it. I do like it. I think Cam was incredibly disrespected by the Carolina Panthers. And that should, like so many other situations, man, where we see players get shafted by NFL teams. There's no loyalty in sports, man. So to expect a team to be loyal to you, to put your best interest ahead of their own, is ridiculous, because it never happens. It never happens. It never, even when it looks like a situation where a team puts a player's interest before their own, it's a facade. It's not true. You got to look at what they're getting out of it, what they're benefiting from the moves they make, and what Carolina did to Cam was incredibly disrespectful. I mean, you could have let this dude go as soon as your season was over. You could have released him, just to make sure he had enough time to find a team that was going to give him a chance. But they waited so late that this dude had to sit in free agency waiting for a team that could possibly use his services to just pop up, I guess. And if New England wouldn't have came along and gave him that, I could see Cam Newton being a free agent well into the season until a quarterback gets hurt and they need to sign somebody out of free agency. If New England wouldn't have gave him the shot, I could see that. And let's not get this fucked up. He is on a very, very friendly deal, which means if Cam doesn't perform in the preseason, New England could let him go and just go with Stidham. This is a very good chance. When Tim Tebow was signed by the New England Patriots after he left the Jets in that horrible situation, a lot of people were optimistic. I was too, but he got cut before preseason was even over. You know, so there's a chance that Cam could get cut before the season is over. He's on a very friendly deal, and that's one of my concerns about his contract, is because he is on a contract that they can lose him if they want to. So hopefully he plays well, man.
Felt like I was just left to die.
That bar's high for Cam Newton. What do you think, Nick? You buying that we're going to see a Cam Newton like we've never seen before this season for the Patriots?
No. Hopefully we see a good Cam. Hopefully Cam is able to stay healthy, and let's not forget that New England's system is one of the most complicated systems in the NFL. This is why just signing anybody out of free agency isn't going to work. Whoever they sign has to fit what they do, has to be able to learn what they do, and a lot of what they do is about meticulous detail. It's not about big plays here, big plays there, running around until you're able to find something. It's about the attention to detail.
Oh, I'm absolutely buying it, because every time Cam Newton has been doubted, he has come back with an absolute and utter vengeance. He has his issues.
Not really. I mean, Cam has had a pretty interesting story, but it's not like Cam wasn't. It's not like Cam wasn't a first overall pick. It's not like he wasn't a highly touted prospect. It's not like he didn't get opportunities. It's not like he had to fight his way through the ranks. I remember the camp. I remember some of the camp story from when he had his issues in college. I forgot what team he played for. I forgot why he got why he had to move to a I guess a 2-year community college or something. And he played well for the community college. He transferred to Auburn, JUCO, and he played unbelievably well. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from Cam, man, but those Auburn teams were unbelievable. Those Auburn teams were unbelievable. Go back and look at some of the names that have played in the NFL the year that Cam came out of college. All right, those Auburn teams were unbelievable. So it's not like he went to a college that didn't have a history of winning or anything like that, or at least being competitive. He completely put them on the map. That's not the case. I mean, those teams were built to win. Okay, they probably would have had a really good chance to win the national title without him. But, you know, he got his chance at Auburn. He played well. He played unbelievably well to where he became the undeniable top prospect coming out of college. He was drafted number 1 overall to the Carolina Panthers. He was given the keys immediately. This dude passed for 4,000 yards this rookie season. This dude, I'm pretty sure, had pretty good passing stats, and you know, he was looked at as a dual threat quarterback, and you know, for his second and third year, even though maybe his third year wasn't as good, but then he became an MVP winner, got the team to the Super Bowl again. I mean, it's not like this dude had a lot to overcome. He didn't have a lot to overcome. Now, you know what player actually overcame a lot and still was able to show his resiliency? Adrian Peterson, man. This dude had a potential career-ending knee injury. I believe it was his knee. And he missed an entire season. He comes back the next year. I believe he leads the league in rushing. Dude looks unbelievable. Dude looked better after his injury than he did before his injury. So, I don't know, man. And he's still playing unbelievably productive. He's still playing at an unbelievably productive level now, currently. So, I don't know, man. If we're talking about resiliency and the knack for wreaking havoc on terrible situations that had tried to derail their careers, I would say Adrian Peterson is far more interesting than Cam Newton. Cam has had a good story, but I mean, everybody has a story.
Collegiately, ends up going to junior college. What does he do that junior college season? Undefeated national champion. He then knows he's only going to have to play 1 year of big-time college football. There's questions about his eligibility. There's questions about the circumstance in which Auburn got him. He has arguably the single greatest season any college football player has ever had, certainly on the short.
They say this about a lot of college football players. At least in the past year, I've heard at least 3 different college football players who has had arguably the greatest college football season ever. Mr. Joe Burrow, Mr. Ezekiel Elliott, Cam Newton. I mean, there's about 20 or 30 guys between the 1960s and the 1990s that you could throw in there. Like, I don't know, bro.
List. He goes number 1 overall. Folks say, oh, he's more worried about being an icon, more worried about marketing. He opens his career with back-to-back 400-yard passing games. He has a bad 3rd year in the league or 4th year in the league. He's down. His stats are down. His team doesn't win. He responds with a 15-1 MVP season. And now he's been released. He's been forgotten about. He's been forced to play for less money. Well, reportedly about the same money he was making at Auburn.
That 2015 camp season was probably one of the most underrated MVP seasons I've ever seen, because the lack of weapons. And I've said this repeatedly, man. This dude was throwing to Philly Brown. That was one of his top receivers. A guy named Philly Brown, who after that season I thought would get, a lot of opportunities, didn't get so much. Philly Brown was one of his top receivers. I mean, this dude was able to put together an MVP season, 15-1 season, on the back of his arm and that defense.
He wasn't clearing over $1 million a year, and now he is back, I think, not only with a vengeance, but in the best position he could be in to succeed. Greg, his final year, healthy year in Carolina, 2018, before he got a shoulder wreck midway through the year, it was a lot of quick intermediate passing, a lot of get the ball, find someone, hit him immediately. That's what they're going to ask him to do in New England. He's got the best coaching he's ever had, and Carolina, other than McCaffrey, hadn't surrounded him with elite skill position guys in the last 7 years. So he checks all the boxes to me that we're going to see the best version of Cam Newton we've seen in quite some time.
Even if Carolina didn't provide him with the best weapons, some would say that a lot of the weapons that Carolina has had were better than what New England currently has. Because they still don't have a tight end that you could throw out there and feel comfortable with. Now, I keep hearing trades here, trades there about David Njoku and possibly somebody from Tampa Bay because they have like 17 tight ends that could start for other teams. But they haven't made a move on anybody yet. And I think that would be a major disability for the New England Patriots if they go into the season without a tight end out there, a suitable tight end out there. I don't know if you could trust Watson, man. This dude retires he doesn't retire. He walks away in the middle of the season, leaves for about 2 weeks, then comes back and is not even able to produce anything. So, I don't know, bro.
I agree 1,000%. When you listen to Cam in that simple clip, his intention, his focus, his just posture, everything about him tells me he is going to be a force to be reckoned with when he gets the opportunity to be under center. Period. We're already going to see him in a new uniform. We're going to see Cam like we've never seen before. I think
all this is wishful thinking. No one knows how the season is going to play out. We've seen multiple times in the past where a player is highly motivated, but their body just isn't where, it just isn't able to hold up. So let's not. I really hope Cam plays well, man, because he's putting a lot of pressure on himself with the IG post and him posting his workouts and I'm done with this video, but hopefully he's able to stay healthy, and that's his biggest obstacle right now, is staying healthy. Can he stay available? But we'll see, man. Hopefully Cam, plays well. I would love to see Cam Newton get this team to the playoffs. It would be awesome. But we'll see, man. All right.